Alright, so in today's video we make a lot of progress on the body swap that is the all-wheel drive Honda powered El Camino. We get the front bumper figured out. I get a lip for it. We get some stuff figured out with the hood. It didn't really work out, but we get it figured out in the end. Also, I take a little bit of time to get out on the water on my Florida trash boat, and I bring you guys along for the ride. So let's get started.
And now, you're watching the Fool Me Once, Strike One, but Fool Me Twice, Strike Three channel of YouTube. Welcome to Bodie Vision.
Hey, so what is up and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me yet again on another video of the Honda swapped. Well, not really Honda swapped, it's more of a body swap, but either way I like to call it El Chapo. Some people call it the Honda Mino, and this is what we got going on today. So in the last video, the engine bay, we made a lot of progress on getting the front end merged and mounted to the engine bay of the CRV. Now you can tell we are on there really good. I had to take a couple steps back and redo some stuff because this area over here, I had to chop it off, make sure that my hinges would work. And as you can see, we have the room over here. I don't know if you can see from all the way over there, but you can take my word for it. So now that the front end is on, everything looks good. I want to actually throw the hood on there and see where we're at. Maybe easier said than done, as I'm by myself. But something's gonna happen. I don't know, we just gotta start to try it. Don't scratch the paint. And also I have like some really, some pretty cool paint stripper thing on the way. It's like some Eastwood wheel thing. It's kind of like a drum sander thing. That way I can strip the body down and get the process going into the paint for this thing, because that's what I want to start to eventually work towards, getting this thing painted. Just a wasp right there, come on dog. Alright, so I have some hardware right here. Now let's not crack this old windshield. Oh, looking pretty good so far. Oh, Alright, so after fighting that battle, I thought the hood was gonna get me, but I got it. So the hood is officially on here, looking good. Now I actually want to get the grill on here just so that way I can make sure all of these lines line up relatively close. I mean, I don't expect it to be perfect because this is kind of like a dirty body swap. I'm not trying to win any awards with this thing. I just kind of want it to be cool. And I think we're going in the right direction. Let me grab the grill. This is my favorite piece of the car. I was thinking about doing like a Monte Carlo, like choo-choo customs front end. Dude, I like this big grill. It's cool. I like the whole way it looks. I'm not mad at it at all at this point. Alright, so I don't have the primary latch, but we still do have the secondary. Seems a little tough, but I'm definitely gonna want to keep the secondary as long as it lines up and does what it's supposed to do. Ooh, we have the grill a little bit too close. The hood's gotta come back a little bit. Why are you doing that, baby? I mean, that's fitting, but that's the grill needs to come forward a little bit. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this figured out, and then I'll check back in with you on what we are doing as far as hood latches and what we're doing for that. And just like that, like I said, I'd get it handled. So I put a little bit of a blaster here on the secondary. We got everything lined up pretty good. It's down there. Now it is too low because I actually pulled out, where did I put? I pulled out these little bump stoppers, because where these little bump stoppers were, I'm going to go ahead and throw these guys on here. I've actually had these guys for years, way back when I painted the Hellcat swapped Miata years ago. So we used those for that. I liked them, I held on to them, I knew that I could utilize them eventually. I do like OEM stuff a little bit better, like how the OEM latches work. But in this circumstance where it didn't come with the latch, I'm cool to use something that I had on the shelf. It's not gonna bother me at all. I know some people might like it, some people might not like it. I like saving money. I don't know about you. So we have the secondary all lined up and working. And one reason why I kind of don't like those is I'm a little bit paranoid that they're just going to let go and then the hood's going to go flying. But the hood can't go flying if we have the secondary figured out. And the secondary here is figured out. So let's drill out the hole a little bit more where these guys used to be. This is too small. it needs to become this size right here. And that guy's gonna make it happen. So let's just, you know, and I don't want to see you guys using your safety squints. Put on some glasses, man. Come on. It doesn't take much, just a little bit, like 50 cents. And this should be relatively quick and easy because we could see where this little rubber stopper that's supposed to hit right here. All of this is going to have to be cut out so that way we can put this guy on the top. It's pretty, I like to think it's pretty self-explanatory. If it's not, sorry. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna throw it on a time lapse, get both of those guys set up, and then eventually get to cutting out the hood, putting the top piece on, and getting this knocked out so that way we can move on to the next thing. Alright, so right now we got these guys on here. I kind of have them set at where I am just estimating that they should be. Now it doesn't really matter where they are because I can adjust them. So let's go ahead and lower this guy down. And then this rust on here is definitely going to have to be addressed, but let's just give it a push right here. And then you see right there, that's where we are starting to poke through. It's crazy though, because I'm gonna probably replace 99% of this. So since I'm not set up to be doing all of the body work, metal work right now, that'll be coming pretty quickly, but I just want to keep moving with the install of this, just so that way I can make sure I have everything all set up. And then, it's weird though, because it's probably gonna be replaced. Right now I'm just gonna act like it's not rusty at all, keep moving, and then when we are doing all of the body work, metal work, all of that stuff, we will go ahead and address it if we need to. We're probably gonna need to. I'm just not doing that right now. So let's go ahead and get those drilled out. Then we will get them adjusted. And then this thing should be dusted. Adjusted and dusted. All right, and really quickly, messing around with that hood, I decided to take a break. My buddy called me. He said, I'm gonna get off work early. You wanna take the boat out? So I haven't even shown you guys the boat yet. I got it in a long list of trades. I had a panel van, traded for a motorcycle, got some cash, then I traded for a boat, got some cash. So I'm basically into this thing for nothing. And we've been taking out the family with it, having a good time during the summer. My buddy's also got a bass boat, very similar. So, real good day to check out the water. Let's get her dropped in and see what we can get into. I can get back to the El Camino in a minute, you know. Gotta make hay while the sun's shining, yeah, mate? Yeah, so that panel van, you guys might have saw it in the background a while ago. I ended up thinking that it was just too big. I was having a hard time selling it, and then I traded it, like I said. Now we ended up with a boat. So we are just over in Sanford. We're dropping in near Lake Monroe, which is over that way. And then we are going to run north-ish towards Blue Springs, I think. I don't know, we'll figure it out. So we got depth going. We're at 16 feet, just hanging around. I hope we're not supposed to stop. We're not supposed to stop, right? Good to go. And then right up there is the sign for us to, you know, continue at normal speed. Until then, we're gonna go painfully slow. Having a good day or what? Nah. That's a buoy. Right. Just hanging around. so we just docked up over here, having a good time. Dude had to use the facilities, and then the dock that we parked at, they don't got a restroom over there, so we're doing the thing. We're parking at somebody else's dock, dropping trout and heading out. I feel like during the summertime I slow down a little bit on work because the kid's off. We're doing all kinds of stuff that is, you know, not involving me in the shop. And the boat is super cool because I know a lot of people say getting a boat is a horrible investment. It's not a really good use of money, but the way that I traded panel van, got cash, motorcycle, got cash, took the motorcycle, traded that for the boat, got a little bit of cash. So I'm really in good shape, having fun for next to nothing, and not like I need to justify it. All trash people love boating, and I consider myself pretty much a Florida trash man. Love that stuff. So how was it?
Good, just had to take a little doop.
Oh shit. All right, we'll take off. So we are back. Let's get loaded up before it starts raining. It's supposed to start raining around 3 o'clock. I think it's about 2:15. We made a real good time. Whew. Let's get her loaded up. What you guys think of that Bodie Vision decal? Looks real good. Come on. All right, so here we are back at the shop. Had a good time out on the water. That's what you got to do during the summertime in Florida. You got to go get on the water, make stuff happen. Back to the El Camino. So one thing that I've realized through my years of messing around with cars, if you veer away from OEM or the way that stuff should have been originally, and you kind of rely on the way that somebody else does stuff, it is probably not going to be good. And these little quick release things are a perfect example. So I have a couple of problems with them. My first problem is, if you can see, if I just push the release, it doesn't pop. If you're able to pull up on it, then you can press it and it releases, but we're not going to be able to pull up on it because by the time the grill is over here, you can't get your fingers in here. Now the other alternative to get around that would be to make sure there's tension on it by putting something else, but the thing that would have caused tension is what I cut out. So really, it's not looking too good for these guys. I don't like them. I don't like them one bit. Now, take a look over here. So a normal hood latch relies on the structure underneath the hood to make sure that it is grabbing on. These guys, this style grabs onto the skin, which isn't that good. It's a little bit weird. And as I mentioned earlier, my area is a little bit rusty. So let me put on some safety glasses because I don't want rust to go flying. And then we will do a test to see how strong this guy is going to be. Does that look good? Really, before I picked back up the camera, I was a little bit frustrated with this, so I just said to myself, what is it going to take to put a brand new hood on here? And if you can see, I just went ahead and ordered one. That is a little bit more than I wanted to spend, but the other thing that I have to think about is, how many days would this take me to get it right? Let's just throw some money at it and get it right off the bat. All right, so since I made that determination about the hood, that's just the e-brake going. So this is actually the first time I drove this car as an El Camino. It's never ran because I had to extend everything. All the lines had to be extended. So this is actually the first drive, even though I'm not calling it the first drive. But anyways, so since I have to wait on a hood now, I am waiting on a couple other things. Of course, there are a million things to do, but in reality, I kind of like to do things in the order that I feel like they need to be done in order for the process of the build. And anyways, we are going to push this off to the side really quickly because I have my shop truck, my 1965 GMC 2500. I have a couple upgrades that just got here, and I wanted to show you what we got. So let me move this thing out of the way. Woo! And I don't even have a seat in here. We got an El Camino Honda Mino, baby. I'm sitting on my stool, but nevertheless, we are driving. Where's that ball at? All right, since we're stopped right here, ooh, I got no brakes. I'll just shut it down right here. Let me grab the shop truck. All right, so here we go. We got my baby right here, the 1965 GMC 2500. Let me get her into the shop, and then I'll show you what we got. And actually, the shop truck, she is doing shop truck things because we got a box right here, which is our big boy box. And we have a box right here. These are over from the good folks over at Holley Performance. You guys know I have the Sniper EFI 2 in this truck that has been running nothing but phenomenally, man. The other night I took it out on the 4th of July, just cruising around, kind of going around some of the events and whatnot, just kind of driving through, looking around, doing my thing in the good old shop truck. So let's take these into the shop and I'll show you what we got. All right, so here we go. Here's our one box. Here is our other box. Now the reason why I actually ended up getting these is because I was looking around on Holley's site. They have all kinds of summer deals going on right now. I'll tell you a little bit more specifically what some of my favorite deals are in a minute, but I want to get into showing you exactly what we got. So we got a pair of valve covers for this thing. That's something that this truck definitely needed. And we also have our air cleaner assembly. We get the whole assembly. New filter, the whole thing. 14 inches round, real nice. These are both from the vintage series, which is perfect because they match one another. So let me show you the combo. We got the valve cover right here. Dude, how good is that gonna look? And then also with the air cleaner to match. Double Holley on this thing, Holley ride or die. You know how it is, man. Holley's helped me out so much with this truck since I've got it going, and it is time to upgrade. So this should be a relatively quick and easy install. I'm just going to knock out the valve covers first, get another good look at these things, man. Retro logo with the air cleaner to match. This thing's gonna look really good, man. Those vintage series valve covers are killing it. I love that, man. The original reason why I was on Holley anyways looking around is because they have all these summertime deals. One thing that I saw was free shipping on anything over $149. So $150, you get you some free shipping. I saw that. That was really cool. And another thing that I saw on there, man, that you might be able to take advantage of is $730 off a pair of LS headers. That's more than 50% off. And also something else that I saw on there was a Flowmaster filter. So this might not necessarily be for your hot rod, but I went ahead. I wanted to take advantage of that as well, so I got myself a new Flowmaster filter for my truck. I mean, the deal is a no-brainer. So those are a couple of my favorite things on there. Go ahead and check it out, man. A link will be in the description down below for my guys over at Holley. Always killing it, helping me out with these projects whenever I need anything. You know, this truck has the Holley EFI Sniper 2, like I mentioned. Woo-wee. And this is the cherry on top right here. right, so that was a quick little cool install. Good thing to do in the evening. So let's get the truck out of here, then get the El Camino back in here, man. Driving the El Camino puts a smile on my face because I have never ever drove it before. I think what we got to do, or what I ought to do before I fully break the car down and do all the body work and everything, I might want to get it driving so that way I can enjoy it for a minute. Maybe I'll need to get it tuned if I get a turbo thrown on it. Wink wink, we are working on that. So I think looking how it looks, getting a seat in there, getting a turbo on it, get it tuned, then rip the entire car apart and then paint it. And I got some really cool plans for a paint job as well. But we're not gonna get anything done if I'm just sitting here kicking bumpers talking about it. So let's get this stuff moved. Powered El Camino, baby! Oh, I don't got brakes. Okay. Careful, 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 careful. All right, that's it. One thing that I don't tell y'all enough, follow me over on the gram. It's just Bodie Vision as well. You'll see cool, funny little videos like what I just did while I was pulling the El Camino in. You'll see that on my story. I'm posting on my story all the time. I don't know why you're not following me over there. So here we are back on the El Camino. As you can see, I got my cheap lip. This is from like a 90s Chevy truck. I don't even know the exact year. I just looked at the shape and I figured I could make something work with it. I thought I might have to stub it up in the middle, which I did, but as you can see, everything is looking really solid. I have the brightness up on the camera so that way you can see it a little bit better, but to be honest, it seems like it's kind of blowing everything out of proportion. So that might be a little bit better. So the main goal of this lip was for it to be plenty long enough to cover all of the lower sections of the CRV that were still exposed. I think it looks solid. I'm really happy with it. And this was like, I think $15 on Amazon. So $15 well spent, but now I'm going to have to get it plastic welded in the middle to fuse it together so that way it's not going to fall apart. And I've done stuff like that before. It's all good. So I went to Harbor Freight this morning, grabbed me a $20 plastic welder. So let's get that ripped off, go ahead and do that. And also my hood should be here in the next few days. So we'll address that a little bit later. right, so let's take this girl outside so we can really take a look at it. I want to step back and see how I feel about the whole lip situation. I need to just put a seat in this thing. I have a seat sitting there. I'll do it eventually. How's she looking, dude? I cannot wait to drive this thing. I don't know what it is, but I'm getting really excited to just El Camino out. Dude, so I don't know about you, but I think this lip looks awesome. I think it fits really nicely. I am not a huge fan of what's going on in this area, but I can always figure something out if I want to. I was thinking about making like a cut right here to make it blend a little better, or adding a piece on the fender itself to kind of run it out to the wheel. I think that would look good too. Regardless, I am happy with you know, our super cheap lip, how it's fitting. We got the bumper secured, we have our hood figured out, that we are not going to be using this hood, so a new hood should be on the way. We are going to start stripping down this body, getting into paint. I have a really cool paint scheme that I'm wanting to do for this vehicle. It is going to be a full color change along with some really cool 80s graphics. You're just gonna have to subscribe, keep up with all of the videos to see all of that stuff. So if you could, like this video, leave a comment. We gotta get this algorithm rolling, man, and the more that you guys engage, share it with your friends, that really helps me out. So if you enjoy my content, help me out by doing that. So I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.